up, turn me up.
Hey y'all, welcome to the Married Bunch podcast. I am Brianna,
Nico,
Crystal,
Chris,
Keonda,
William,
and we are the bunch. On this episode, it's called Open Ears and Open Hearts. Today, we're going to have our very first guest, the Smiths, and we're also going to talk about dating your spouse and healthy communication. All right, so we want to welcome the Smiths to the bunch. Welcome, guys. So before we get started, a little bit about how we know the Smiths. So DeShondra and I had a class together in college, and then we kind of reconnected with an old friend. Well, from an old friend, right?
very old.
So that's how we became friends, and we've been rocking ever since. So to get going, let's talk to a little bit about the Smiths. How long have you guys been married?
So next month, December 1st, we will be married for 11 years.
Wow. That's a long time. So how did you guys meet?
Oh, let's see. Freshman year, we had math class together at Central, and I tried my hardest. I was flirting. He was working at Ross. I was like, "Can I get a discount?" And he was like, "No." And yeah, he wouldn't give me no discount. And so from there, like I said, we met freshman year. We were always seeing each other, kind of like we were living
Across
in dorms.
the campus.
Yeah, but then what happened, like our junior year?
Going into our junior year, the summer of the junior year.
Yeah, I became an Eastern Star, and he saw me on Facebook. We're friends. And he was like, my grandma was one, and all this other stuff, and he congratulated me. And from there, I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll be back on the yard. I'm moving back on campus. Next week? He was like, maybe we can hang out. So,
Okay. So did I get this right? DeShondra, you are the one that initiated it, or did Brian initiate it?
Yeah, it was me all day.
Okay.
He could have had me 2 years earlier, but he was playing.
Yeah.
Oh, snaps.
She right.
Yeah, he wouldn't give me that discount, and then he just
All right, so who said I love you first?
That would be me.
When?
After homecoming, junior year, after your parents left. Oh, you remember now, right?
No, but I'm going to go with it.
Keep going. So it was junior year, after homecoming. After your parents left, we were in the bed, and we were discussing over different things, talking about different things.
We were in the bed.
Listen,
Everybody's like, in the bed.
Okay.
Just talking in the bed, laying down. And I just said, I love you. And she said it back.
All right now.
That sounds about right.
And how long were we into the relationship then?
Probably
a
some
few
months. You fell
yeah.
fast.
All right, so you said it. So, Brian, you said it quickly. So, how did you know DeShondra was the one then? Since you said it quickly, did you know right away? Like, how did it come about?
So pretty much I knew DeShondra was the one when I knew that she was a God-fearing woman. She loves God. I love God. She's very down to earth. And we connected. So that's when I knew.
DeShondra, how did you know Brian was the one?
Literally, like he said, being a God-fearing man, and then seeing how he put his family first, and just being an humble person, and then like we're opposites, and so it was like he balances me, and so me being like this very outgoing person, and him being really like mellow, it was just like, okay, maybe that's what I need. Like this person, like he just, like I said, it just was like I found my person.
Okay, so Brian, I'm trying to figure out why you didn't give my girl no discount at Ross, because but was it love at first sight for you? Like, what was your thoughts of her whenever you first met her?
So first off, I mean, we weren't together then. We were just acquaintances then when I was working at Ross. But I mean, I could have gave her a discount, but I mean. It is what it is now. I got her now, so. But love at first sight. I really liked her at first sight, but I don't think it was love at first sight. Love takes time for me, so.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask. Do you feel like, so you don't believe in love at first sight?
No.
Okay. DeShondra, do you believe in love at first sight?
Yeah, for certain people maybe, but it wasn't for us. Like you said, it was more or less like, oh, I see something that I like or that I'm interested in. But I'm one of those people that I'm very intentional, like with people that I bring into my space. And so for me, and I don't know if it's the Capricorn in me, but I have to feel things out. And people, that's right. And I have to feel like things and people out. But do I believe in love at first sight? For some people, definitely. But
For some people,
that?
yeah.
No, it wasn't that.
You have to nurture love,
So, like, I was looking at this TikTok, like, I was looking at a few TikToks, and that's kind of what I was seeing, that a lot of people were saying, like, love at first sight, no, maybe attraction at first sight. But so for me, I feel like there is love at first sight. I think we even had a few people come back and ask us about love at first sight. Crystal, your sister, I know my homegirl Brianna, she asked about it. Do you want to talk about it first, Crystal? Like, how do you feel about love at first sight?
Yeah, I do believe in love at first sight for some people. Like I said before in previous episodes, it didn't happen for me. But I do think that there are people out there who have experienced love at first sight.
Right. And I think, like, for me, I feel like, because we had kind of talked about it a little bit in our episode before, that if it, love at first sight, I think it would be for the man to feel that. That man would feel the love at first sight, because if we're going to talk about the Bible, we all are believers in here. So, it says when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. So that means if he's, finding something, he's seeking that. So I feel like if we're talking about love at first sight, it's not just what your eyes see. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like what your soul, your spirit is feeling, or what your spirit is seeing at that time. I don't know if anybody
but with that, just like you said, like I said just before, you still have to nurture it.
Yes,
you still
definitely.
have to grow with it. You still have to communicate. You still have to work at it.
Right.
And I think too, that's where your understanding of what love is comes into play. Because some people, you ask them what, to describe what love is, it's different. Some people that looks like lust. Some people that looks like a physical thing. Some people, I'm attracted to your mental. Some people, it's different. So I think, again, there's layers to love.
Right. So, even talking about that, love at first sight isn't something that's going to happen with a bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? Oh, sorry. I was really feeling that. I was hitting the table, y'all. Sorry. But yeah. So love at first sight, it's not going to be something that happens over and over again. It's going to be a one-time thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is an old question, but I would like to know, what was your experience with marriage? Like, did you come from a, background where your parents were married? Like, what did marriage look like in your life?
My parents were married, but then I think when I was a baby, baby, they separated. So I didn't get to see that. So marriage wasn't in my household. I saw other depictions of marriage, but there were some things going on with those marriages. So when I got married, I wanted to do it my way, her way. We grow together. We're doing this thing together. So
before meeting her, did you desire marriage?
At one point, yeah. At some point, yeah.
Okay. DeShondra, what about you? Did you have examples of marriage?
Yeah, so I grew up in a 2-parent household. My parents were married for 29 years. And so I saw the love, I saw the support, I saw the man being in the traditional, sense of being the provider. But then I also grew up seeing where both of my parents wanted me to be independent. And so that was an interesting dynamic, especially getting married, because it was like, oh, okay, because I don't do subservient stuff. That's not me. So, so seeing that, and also my parents, us being so young when we got married, we were what, 23?
22, 23. We were just turning 23.
Yeah, so when we got married, it was just kind of like, oh, okay. And my mom was not happy about it. Because her thing was, I get you love him, he loves you, but at the same time, y'all still need to grow. Like, it's still things you need to do. Like, do you truly know? And so, but again, like he said, we never wanted to be a replica, replicate my parents' marriage or like anybody else's. We were like, we're going to grow together. We're going to learn together. We're going to make mistakes together. But like, you hear all this advice, especially being married young, everybody can tell you what to do. But it was one of those things, okay, thank you for it, but we're going to do this our way.
Right. And also, we were very mature at our age. So, I mean,
So, yeah.
it was what it was. We were ready. So, we went ahead and did it.
Did the damn thing.
We did it.
All right, so Brian, man, how long did you guys date before you actually proposed?
So, we dated for about 2 years before I actually proposed. I was getting off work from Lowe's one night. I brought us dinner home.
Probably Wendy's.
No. I think it was Taco Bell. But I brought dinner home. She was just sitting on the couch reading like a poem or whatever, and it was like a fill in the blank poem. And so we had already found, we already went looking for rings and stuff, and I had the ring hidden in the kitchen. I was like, hang on, let me go do something right quick. So I told her to close her eyes or go into the bedroom or something because she already knew where the ring was.
Yes, I did.
But I went and got the ring, and pretty much I did the fill in the blank poem, and then at the end I got down on one knee and I was like, will you marry me? And she was like, of course. And so,
but it was really nice when I tell y'all, like,
but yeah, it was a good
because it was like, if
poem,
I could sing any song to you, if I could have any dream, and at the very end, the way it was set up was like, if I could ask you any question right now, and then he was just like, for fun, babe, let's do this, and so I did it, didn't think nothing of it, and then he did it, and he was like, oh, hold on, and then that's when he was like, if I could ask you any question, huh? And then next thing I know, I looked to the left, and he over there on one knee, and I'm like, okay, yeah. So yeah, and then that's when I called my mama, and I said, Mama, guess what? We engaged. And she said, oh, really? So yeah, but then I found out, which is crazy. We had went down to visit my parents. Maybe
a couple weeks before it actually happened. We went down to her parents' house, and DeShondra and her mom, my G is what I call her. They were out, and me and Pops, we were sitting in the living room, and we were just chatting it up. And I pretty much asked him for his permission. So I showed him the ring. He was happy that it was going down. And he really liked me. So, I mean.
And God knew what I needed because he knew I was going to lose my daddy.
Yeah.
At a, pretty early age. So it was one of those things like, okay. Because I see a lot of those qualities in, Brian that, my dad had. And so, like, it's like he left somebody here to take care of us because he looks out for me and my mama. So yeah,
yeah.
Okay, so with y'all getting married young, was there any pressure, expectations? How did y'all feel about that?
Ooh, the biggest thing, and I could not stand it, was when y'all
having
having a baby. Like when y'all having kids, and then like because we've been together so long, like folks always still now. It's like y'all haven't had a kid yet, and like all, and I'm like, first of all, get out my uterus. Right. But I'm just saying because you just never know. Like, don't assume it's easy for everybody, and you don't even know too if everybody wants kids.
Exactly.
So again, so that was the biggest thing. I mean, and my mother-in-law was guilty of it for years. To finally he said, and again, that just shows me the protector in him. I'm respecting I respect you, but stop asking her, stop bringing it up. And so, like I said, especially family. And then, like I said, the other expectation was everybody mostly was happy for us.
Yeah, for the most part, everybody was happy for us to get married. Crazy expectations, none. Just the baby thing, pretty much for us.
Yeah, feel you on that one.
So, DeShondra and Brian, with y'all being married for 11 years or almost 11 years, is wearing a ring important?
I have a ring around my heart, so this other thing is materialistic. I mean, do I wear it every day? Yes. But at the same time, too, when you know what you have and you're confident in that and you're secure, it's like, again, that's just it's symbolism. And so there are times that I may just run to Walmart or something and I may not put it on or whatever, but people know I'm locked down. Like, I'm married. I know I'm married. And so, but again, do we wear them pretty much every day? Yeah. But I've just come to realize people can have a ring on. They still do what they want to do.
That's true.
Amen.
Well, for me, kind of like what you said, 80% of the time, I have my ring on. I feel like wearing the ring for me is more of a respect thing. Yes, we know that we're married. When you step out, yeah, we're married. But I just like you said, this is for me. This is my ring. This is what the symbol of our marriage. Quote unquote symbol. So yeah, it's just a respect thing. I want him to wear it. He wants me to wear it, but it really don't mean anything else to anybody else. But this is for us. This is our symbol. So that's just for me. What you think, babe?
For me, I mean, like you said, it's a symbol, but for me personally, I'm big on wearing my ring. Like I got the little silicone rings or whatever. I put this one on like on the weekends or whatever, but the other ones that I wear, I never take it off. I sleep in it, take a bath in it, go to work in it. I never take it off. That way I don't forget it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm big on wearing my ring.
Chris?
Yeah, I gotta agree with bro. I'm definitely big on the ring. Like him, I got a work ring as well, so I can switch. I really don't want to wear, my best ring at work, but I'm definitely big on it. Even sometimes she may forget to wear her ring, like she might run out, and I'll spot it and be like, okay.
Go and hide it, Chris. Go and hide it.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't give her a real hard time about it.
I do.
I do ask her like, yo, I may shoot her a text and be like, hey,
Yeah, you
you
just
forgot
did it
your
the
ring. Like, you all right? You forgot your ring.
I might FaceTime my wife and be like, let me see your finger. Or let me see your finger. She be like, what? Yeah, you know what? Well, yeah. I mean, I know it's sometimes she may, like DeShondra said, she might run out of something and forget it or whatever, but I know what her heart is, so that's all that matters.
Right.
For guys, I think it's different because it's a part of us.
Right.
Like how females are with their earrings before leaving the house. For me, this is how that is
Right.
when I'm leaving the house. So.
That's funny because you forgot it the other.
Call him out.
When?
We was at church and you was like, I forgot my ring.
Man, how long ago was that?
3 weeks.
Crystal, what you think about the ring?
I think it's important. I wear mine mainly just about every day. I might forget every once in a while because sometimes I take it off in the kitchen, like if I'm cooking, or I take it off upstairs. And sometimes in the morning, I'm just so focused on getting out of the house that I do forget it. But he's right. He will send a text. He just sent a text the other week. And it was like, hey, you all right? You got a headache?
You got to check her head.
Nah, because she didn't feel good the night before. So when she forgot it, I was like, yo, first I wanted to make sure she was good.
Yeah,
but next on the priority list was you forgot your
Right.
So yeah, it's important. I think it's important, but I do wear mine, and I make sure he wear his. Well, I really don't have to because he always put it on, but he better. Hell, I paid for it.
That's right. Nico?
Yeah, I definitely think it's important.
Why?
I think it's important. We got married, like Crystal said. We didn't get married just to get married. I mean, so wear your ring. I paid for it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important. I love when I see Nico with his ring on. I think it's so attractive. I'm like, oh, that's my babe. You got a ring on. No, but I think it's attractive. And like, when Nico goes to work, he has like his work ring, and he took that initiative to buy the ring for work. And I just thought that showed something like how much he respects me and respects our union. And for me, I wear my ring every day. I love my ring. And I think I forgot it once and almost turned the car around because I was like, oh, Lord, my ring. All right. But for the most part, like I said, I always wear my ring. I think it's important. Like you guys all said, it symbolizes our love and our union. And so, and I mean, at the end of the day, the ring is, it's for yourself, but it's also to back up, I'm married. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have another question for y'all. So we had an episode called the Fallof season, right? We were talking about like losing friends or, family, people just falling off after your union, becoming engaged, or, you know, did y'all ever experience that within y'all marriage anytime, or before you got married in the engagement phase? Did you lose any friends or anything like that?
Not really. Not during the relationship, like before marriage.
Okay.
But I mean, you can speak back.
Oh, okay. So I'll say this. I had to learn that everybody isn't meant to move into every season with you. And so when you're being elevated and you're moving into a new season, then you have to do some pruning. So when you think of a rose, for a rose to blossom, and you have to cut back and prune it and cut away the dead pieces so that you can grow into what you're meant to, the same thing had to happen with some friendships.
Okay.
Even some, I'll say, with family members. You know, because sometimes, you know, and I'm one of those people, again, I'm intentional in how I pray. And I say, God, if it's not for me, if it's not going to bless me, if it's not going to be, you know, to elevate my life or edify my life, remove it. And sometimes you realize, you're like, well, darn, they don't call me anymore. Or like, they just, you notice people start separating. And then that's when you realize, okay, you know, he knows and heard some conversations that I wasn't in the room to hear. And so I've just come to learn that. And again, hey, we had our season together. It was what it was, you know, and whether it was because of us being married, because you saw how, you know, our marriage was being blessed, we were moving, being able to do things. And again, everybody's not happy for you.
Right.
You know, when you get married, or when you're able to purchase your first house, or whatever the big milestones are.
Right.
You know, so yeah, it definitely happened to me. But looking back, we had our season. It was good. But again, moving forward, you couldn't go with me into this phase of my life. And that's
Blessing
okay.
in disguise.
Exactly.
Right. And you definitely sound like you're talking right now from a healed place. But at the time that happened, what was your emotions?
I would say initially it was just shock, because again, I'm the type person, hey, if I feel like something, your energy's changing with me, I'm very, you know, I'm going to say, hey, you know, Keith, what's going on? Like, is something wrong? Did I do something to you? And Bri'll tell you, you know, we had a conversation about some things, and I was like, I had to pray about it. And I said, God, if I've done anything wrong to them, show me. Because I'm not too, you know, big of a person, you know, that I can't apologize.
Right.
But he didn't show me anything. But then years later, I started seeing, well, guess what? That was a chameleon. You know, they changed with whoever they was around and other things. And guess what? Again, that wasn't meant for you. And so while I thought it was going to hurt me, like, and I was going to feel just like this complete loss, surprisingly, I didn't. But again, that's where, when God is in it, and, you know, the people that's supposed to be in your life are in your life, you don't feel that. If anything, it provided space for other people to come in my life.
Like the bunch.
Yeah.
All right. So when reading something, it said one of the most important things when you get married is dating your spouse. So you guys tell me, why is dating important when you're married?
Dating is important because you still got to keep that relationship, that marriage, spicy.
Yeah.
Still got to have fun. Just because you're married, that's not the end point. You still got to, like I said before, you still have to nurture that. For us, go ahead.
And I was going to say, now, one solid thing that I do remember someone telling us once was, you start how you want to finish. So if you start off dating me and whining and dining me and all this other stuff, like, okay, don't fall off. Same thing like with us. Okay, like, because one time, you know, we've been together a long time, started getting a little comfortable, and I said, like, I got to keep my hair done, you know, and start keeping, again, nurturing us and our relationship, because I don't want to turn into somebody else, and that's not who he married, and vice versa. And so that's like sometimes how you lose interest. Your eyes start going somewhere else, and this, that, you know, whatever else. Because again, you, like I said, start how you want to finish. Don't start off doing one thing and then you lose it, you know, in that spark, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, that's not the person I signed up to be with.
That's true.
And treat each other. Don't let it be off one person.
Exactly.
Both of you doing the work.
That's good.
Yeah.
Message.
And, you know, I was just thinking, kind of like piggybacking off what you said, if we think about, like, when I first met him 7 years ago, I am not the same person I was 7 years ago. So if we're not constantly dating each other, if you're not constantly taking that time to communicate with me, we spending time together, you still thinking you got Keonda from 7 years ago, and I'm a completely different person.
Right.
Yep.
And I also think too, like with day-to-day life, we get so used to the mundane things of life, going to work, coming home, eating, going to bed, and you get so caught up in that. And so dating allows you to get out of your norm and do something together, spend time together, and like you said, get to know each other even more than previously.
Yeah, I would definitely say make the extra effort as much as you can. Because people think because you get married, I guess everything is just going to fall into place after that. But you really have to work at it. Because it's going to fall apart if you don't.
And it don't have to be like something fancy. Like you don't always have to go to a fancy restaurant. Chris and I, we started out in the beginning of our marriage. Every other week we was doing something. And then of course we got comfortable. Going to work every day, come home, I'm tired. Let's just watch TV at home. But like recently, we started it back up maybe about 4 or 5 months ago. Every other Friday. As soon as we get off work, we're going to meet up. Before we get home, before we see the kids, because they'll drive you crazy. Can I go here? Can I go there? Can you take me this? So we spend that time together. And it's not hours. It's just an hour and a half. Just a little lunch date or whatever. And it is what it is.
Yeah, it's just easy to get caught up in the routine day to day, and you just get mixed up in that. So you gotta switch it up,
Yep. And so this kind of like we can kind of segue into like dating ideas, spending money versus not spending money. Bae, can you think of like a idea or something that we have done where we really didn't even spend money, and it was still a date for us? Put him on the spot real quick.
Come
on,
not spending money? Nah, not really.
Think about
Not really.
think about maybe like 4 weeks ago, like a month ago. You came home, and what did I have set up?
Oh yeah, that was dope too. Can you do that tonight?
Tell the people. This is giving them an idea.
But yeah, I came home from work and like this was really dope. And she had like the candles lit, and she had like the blanket laid out on the floor with the massage oil and like everything to rub me down and everything. I walked in the house, I was like, what you doing, praying? Was she over there praying? But once I saw all the stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, she finna get me right. So I went in there, I took a shower, and came back out. I had my clothes on. She was like, take your clothes off. Yeah, I mean, you want me to tell him? You want me to tell him? Hey,
PG, please.
Please, I know. Like,
hey, but yeah,
I mean, you're married.
Yeah, we married. Hey, buck her naked. Yeah, and yeah, she got me right. But that was dope, man. Like that was dope. No money in it. Just me and her. The kids weren't there. We just enjoyed our time. Yep.
Real nice.
So, have you guys heard about the viral dating list of the places to avoid? Have y'all seen that? Yeah. All right. So, what do y'all think about that? They had like Cheesecake Factory on there.
Oh, that was that thing with girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A whole list of places that they do not want to go on first dates. Now, I know we already experienced our first dates, but what do you guys think about creating a list of don'ts?
I think it's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Whack.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And that's why you don't have a man.
I was just about to say the same thing. That's exactly why you on your first dates.
I think it was all cap though. I think a lot of the people, whoever created that list, they done been to those same places.
Yeah,
Exactly.
That's a lot of stuff nowadays, like on social media. They do stuff just for attention and reactions. Yeah, that's all. That's all.
Yeah, our first date was on the
Cheesecake Factory.
And speaking of that, where was everybody's first date at?
Yeah, ours was Good Berries, and that's expensive ice cream. It's not no it's not no Baskin Robbins. So I was impressed.
And I was watching because she threw half of it away.
We were
Wasting your money, Nico.
We were outside during the summer, well, the spring, and it was hot. That ice cream melted, so I threw it away, and I was trying to be cute.
And I was watching. Go about $10.
Our first date. So, our first date, we was just going to Zaxby's, y'all, for our first date. So we went to Zaxby's, but the kitchen was on fire.
Oh,
So the kitchen was on fire. We couldn't even go
Crazy.
inside.
That
The
sound
kitchen
like
was on
Fuquay.
fire.
Definitely.
You said what?
Was a few questions.
Yes, it
Definitely.
was. The kitchen was on fire. So we ended up going to Hardee's and sitting in the car and just talking for hours that night.
It was like 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crystal
But
and
tell them what you ordered.
Listen, at this time I was real strict on my diet, so I ordered a burger and lettuce. I don't know why. That was just, it was a,
But when you said it, I was like,
I want a burger with no bun.
No, that ain't what you said. You said, "Can I get a burger wrapped in lettuce?"
And I made it fancy.
and Hardee's did that because I used to work at Hardee's.
They did. Had the paper wrapped around it, nice and everything.
Y'all, we know one thing. Brian had a job. He had
You better know it.
Crystal and Chris, what was y'all first date?
We did not have a first date. And I know that sounds crazy, but like I said, Chris was a single father. So for the longest time, for like the first year and a half, it was me, him, his 2 little boys at his house. Pizza and movies.
That's his
That
favorite
was
food.
it for the first year and a half. So I can't even tell you what our first date was. Even when we started like going out to eat, we had the kids with us. So we really didn't have a first date.
Oh.
That's right.
Now that's real.
Yeah, that is real. That's real.
Y'all made it a family thing, so.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted him to be my man, so I ain't had no choice. Baby, load these kids up. Well, we're going to get something to eat.
Where are we going?
Exactly.
For us, our first date, we went bowling and then we went to the Ale House. So yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah, and I was like, he was like, you can get whatever you
Oh,
want.
yeah.
And I was like, I am.
Talking about, I'm a steak and potatoes kind of girl.
Right. And I ain't seen that. Did they have a steak then? And I got that barbecue chicken sandwich or something. I was trying not to be messy or nothing, but it was good. It was like good vibes. Oh, and then I remember we got back to, I call it CC Projects, but yes. So I got back to where I was staying and he was dropping me off and I was like, okay. And I just wanted to like, I was like, okay. He gave me a little church hug. And I was like, you don't put these boobs on you? I was like, yeah.
I was trying to be a gentleman.
Don't
want to
gentle
make
me.
it want to marry.
Yeah, I didn't kiss on the first date. I didn't kiss you on our first date.
I ain't saying nothing.
Oh, okay.
I ain't said nothing. I ain't said nothing.
But that was one of my questions, girls. Did you try to be cute on your dates when you were dating your husbands, or be cute around them? Like, what was your mannerisms around your husbands when you first met them?
Girl, I was picking that Hardee's burger with my fingers, trying to be cute. Now,
As
baby.
soon as she got home, I know she busted it out. Took them shoes off, got to rubbing them feet.
Starting at 5.
She took that lettuce off.
Okay, tell them about when we went to Cookout that time.
Oh, when we went to Cookout, so I think we went. Did we go to the movies first?
Yeah, it was like our
Yeah, we
second
went to
date.
the movies, and I said, "Well, you can. We're gonna go to Cookout, get something to eat, or whatever the case may be." And she got a Cookout tray, I think like a chicken sandwich, and she always get a milkshake because she loved ice cream. And number one, they forgot the ice cream. I drove off, so she had to get out the car and run back and get her ice cream. So after we got the food, we went back and parked somewhere and was just talking. She was eating, but she was like picking it apart, like, I'm so full. I said, no, I know you ain't full, but oh, okay. But she told me when she got home, she bust down that Cookout tray. She was hungry. So don't be shy.
No,
wife
just be
still-
yourself.
Just be yourself.
My wife still do that to this day though. We'll go out and she'll pick over her food
Who?
And Key. Until we get home, and then she will demolish that food when we get home
and go to sleep. That's why I said I can't eat a lot today. Crystal, how was you eating your
why
chicken
she do
tenders
that.
with Chris?
That's all she gonna get. That's all she gonna
Hey,
get.
you
I
can't
know
go
they was
wrong
at Zaxby's.
You can't go wrong with tenders, honey.
Cutting them
I
with a
pick
knife.
over my food anyway. I always picked over my food, and then he would take my leftovers.
For sure.
And he still do it to this day.
I just boxed up some leftovers the other day.
No, we never had that problem. If anything, he was the one in the beginning. I couldn't stand it. The only thing he would order any place we went, they had to have chicken tenders or a burger.
Okay, Brian.
That was it. That was it.
Hey, I'm right there.
But I
with
mean, my palate is grown now, so.
Has it?
Ooh, man.
That's what happened when you get with this.
I'm with it forever.
And the day.
And the day.
That's what's up.
All right, so segue into another question. So being alone with your spouse, when you're together, how important is not being on the phone, watching TV, and having that intimate time together? Do you guys have rules that go with that? Like, how do you guys do that or deal with that?
We have rules. When we do our date every other Friday, no phones. Well, we have our phones with us, but we don't pay attention to it. And then when we eat dinner, it's no phones. Unless somebody called, then I run and get my phone. But it's no phone.
Message.
Okay, so I thought he was gonna say something else. We try to not have our phones. Sometimes we'll play like a game together on our phones, like spades. We'll play spades and stuff on our phone. And then like if we, at home, like watching a movie, every Sunday it's a Power or something, we watching it. No phones. So we, try to limit our time. Like I'll be like, babe, you on your phone? Or he'll say something to me, So that's kind of how we work it out. It's not really like rules, but we kind of just try to put it away.
For us, I don't think we really have rules, but we know when we're at home, when we're eating dinner, I mean, we don't normally have it out. We're just eating, trying to discuss different things that happen during the day or plans that we have. Now, when we're out on dates and stuff, we don't, same thing, we really don't use our phones. When we're at home chilling, we're either watching TV together, being on the phone. I mean, so for us, it's really no rules.
It's implied. No, because he was like, so remember, what was this? Like, this was some months back, we was down in Myrtle. And I don't know why I was on my phone, because normally I'm really not like that when we eating or whatever. And because like sometimes we'll look around, but like that couple has not said like two words to each other. It's like we be people watching all the time. Mm-hmm. But and I just remember I forgot, like I was on it doing something for whatever reason, and he was like, "Hey," tapping the table, "Put your phone away." And I was like, "Oh, okay." But yeah, because again, it's like one of those things implied. If we're gonna be here together, like be intentional and be present with me.
Right.
Like everything else can wait unless it's an emergency.
Yeah, I thought you was about to say Brian be on his phone all the time, because y'all know when we was in Vegas.
I was taking pictures of everything.
Yeah, and when you was trying to find where we was going, you was like, your signal.
Come on, don't talk about
And then
that.
what happened, Brian?
Don't
What
talk
happened
about
when you
that.
were looking at
Don't talk about that.
trying to see where the trying to see
Listen,
where the
man,
Uber was.
my glasses.
He was like,
I had worn them glasses since I ain't even went and got them fixed yet.
You ain't went and got your glasses.
Yeah, because I have multiple glasses, so I'm like, I'm done with this.
It's a bad reminder. Before baby got PTSD
Hey,
from
think
it.
we were gonna talk about that. Well, yo,
Right, Key, you had
the
to
way
break
you
that
read that damn glass.
I
Well,
know how he is about his phone.
I'm glad I gave y'all a laughing moment.
The way you bounced off that glass and the way your damn glasses were crooked.
Not this cat.
Did I have a hat on that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even still know
Oh
how
my
my glasses
God.
got messed up and I had the cap on.
Listen, Brian, I didn't laugh at you that. Like,
boy.
not
But you
in
laugh
your face
later.
Anyway. Not in your face anyway, but I
Hey.
was worried about it.
It's all
I didn't laugh.
good. It's
Oh
all
my
good.
God, boy.
And then gonna say the ride outside.
She's crying now. She act like she didn't want to laugh when it happened.
Oh no, I laughed too then.
She laughed, but then she was
she
like, all right,
did.
y'all, that's enough.
Oh my God, boy.
That was a good time. We got to do
Yeah,
another.
that
group.
was
Yeah,
that
we
was a
got-
good
we
one.
gotta go
That
out.
was a
We gotta
good
do it
one, man.
again.
Yeah, we definitely got to go out, man.
That's an episode in itself. Lost
Yes,
Legs.
y'all.
Oh my God.
Goodness.
Things we witnessed.
All right, y'all. So we talked about dating your spouse, and another important thing in marriage is the act of communication. So, Chris, how do you build healthy communication?
For me, building healthy communication is you build it by communicating. The more you communicate, I believe that, the healthier it gets. Just gotta be open and transparent with each other.
Yep.
Key?
Just kind of like what he said, just being able to be vulnerable, especially if we're talking about communication with your spouse. I feel like if you can't be vulnerable with your spouse, who are you gonna be vulnerable with? And I think that's just the best way for me, just being vulnerable, letting all of it out. Babe, what you think?
Like my brother said, like I think the biggest thing is just being open. You just got to be open and honest.
So, either DeShondra or Brian. So, building healthy communication is important, but what do you think of listening to hear versus listening to respond? What does that mean?
So something that I've learned with communication is, in order to be able to do so, there has to be you create a safe space. So that, and that goes with what Key was saying about, that vulnerability. And so that means I have to create a space enough and also self-awareness where I understand, okay, stop talking so much. Listen to what it is that he needs from me. Mm-hmm. Listen to what it is that's going on with him. Because we're very intentional about how was your day? Is everything okay? I know him very well. So I know sometimes when he shuts down or starts shutting down, it gets really quiet. But I also learn to give him his space.
Right.
So again, that's that self-awareness, knowing that, hey, I don't have to always be right. I don't always have to have my point. I don't always have to get the last word because I don't always know what's going on inside of him, especially as a black male.
That's a good word. I mean, for me too. My husband is kind of like that. Like he gets quiet, and I'm like, babe, what is it? Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes. Babe, what is it? You know what I'm saying? He like, so just hearing you say that, being intentional, like I love that you keep saying that word, like being intentional. Like I'm learning, and I appreciate this, really.
This is good.
Yeah.
I'm learning from y'all. I mean, and we've been married how long? But I
Right.
mean, yeah, it's not perfect. And I tell anybody, once the ring go on, to me, that's when the work start. I mean, because it was easy being engaged and you dating and all the other stuff.
What
but
did they say at the end cap? The wedding is only the beginning.
That's right.
Facts.
See, we tune in.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. It's not on our little list or whatever. Because you said the work comes in once you get that ring, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think marriage is, and this is a question for everybody, do you think marriage is hard work? Or do you think marriage is hard? Because, you hear that a lot when you get married. Mm-hmm.
It's hard if you make it hard. Marriage can be easy if you're working together.
Say it again.
Right.
I like that.
So if you're working together, everything should fall in place.
Right.
Everybody's on one accord. Nobody's trying to combat you with any and everything that's going on. Mm-hmm. So,
But I would say, so take the word hard and put challenging. Because that's life in itself. Mm-hmm. You're going to have challenges. You're going to have obstacles. And so, if anything, it's how you navigate those challenges. Right. And so, if we're equipped with the tools we need, communication, honesty, transparency, all the other things, then if we build on a solid foundation,
Amen.
we can navigate any path.
You better.
Right.
You better.
let's go, baby.
Tell them, Dr. Smith. Tell them.
Yes, Dr. Smith. I forgot to put that
Yeah,
in there.
that brings me back to when we when we was buying our house, our realtor asked us, you remember? He asked us how long had we been married. And at that time, it was only like, what, 2 years? And he was like, oh, let me give y'all some advice. Because he had married his, what is it, college sweetheart? Is that what you want to call it? So he told us, and I have never heard this before, but ever since he told us, I try to keep that in mind. But he told us, he said, if you treat your marriage like it's your baby. For example, like Key, when you had the twins, when they were a baby, when they cried, what did you do?
I went to go see what was wrong
You
with
went to
them.
go see what was wrong, right? You went to go
Yes.
see if they needed a diaper change, if they needed to be fed, or they needed to be held. He said, treat your marriage the same way. He said, if your marriage is crying out, there's an issue, your wife upset, Chris upset, whatever, deal with it then. Just like you stop what you're doing to see about that crying baby, stop what you're doing to see about your crying marriage.
That's good.
That's
That's
good.
good.
Yeah.
That's
You
good.
nurture it.
Did you remember
That's
that?
Nurture
Babe?
that.
I remember.
That's good.
I remember that. He was also explaining how the number of years, like we was married 2 years. And he was like, look at it from a perspective as the baby is 2 years old. Like you still gotta
Right.
progress in the whole process.
Right. Shout out to Matthew at the
Yes, sir.
Wordsworth Group.
That's a good word. That's a good
That
word.
is. That's good too.
Okay, so with us talking about communication, how do y'all feel about going to bed mad? How about the Carringtons?
Being intentional. Just like I said, I mean, we're still learning. You know, we 4 years in. So we try not to. You know what I'm saying? But there are moments that I can be stubborn and he can be stubborn too. You know, but we going to bed. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's not going to his mama house or nobody. You know, we're staying home and we're gonna talk about it. He is more of a let him have his moment and he gonna call and try to get it right. It ain't gonna go too long. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna. He gonna have to get it off his chest. And it's kind of like what you said, like me understanding, like maybe right now is not the time to talk about it for him. So sometimes we may go to bed and it's not the best environment, but we gonna eventually get it off our chest. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So.
Yeah, for me, we're not going to bed. I mean, I take that back. We can go to bed mad. I don't give. You can be mad all day,
Right.
but we're gonna get in that bed and go to sleep.
Exactly.
And when I get up in the morning, I'm the type of person. That was yesterday. It's a new day. We can wake up. We can apologize, or we can just go on about our day. But we're not gonna take from yesterday what comes into the next day.
Right.
So yeah, but you can stay mad all you want. I don't care.
But we staying mad
But we're
together in this house.
Exactly, in that bed. Put your feet on mine, put your back to mine. You can turn around. I don't care what you do a flip. But we're going to bed.
And usually when we're mad at each other, like it depends what we're bickering about. But usually, like, I'm still mad and he coming trying to joke and he get on my nerves. But that usually like makes me laugh and get me out of like that situation.
Right. Or usually if she's mad and she know that she done wrong, she'll try to come around. Ooh. I say, oh, now you want to laugh because you know you done messed up.
Or it's time to eat dinner.
Right, because when it's time to eat dinner, that mad is gone. That hunger done took over.
That's true. Kazis?
Baby, let me tell you. The Lord is still working on me, honey. Because 10 times out of 10, it's always me that's mad. Chris hardly ever gets mad. But he's one of those people that he want to talk it out right then, Me, on the other hand, ooh, Lord. I want to say what I have to say. It just takes a while for me. I kind of hold on to it a little too long. I'm not even going to lie. I try not to go to bed mad, but there are times I go to bed mad. I just, something I need to work on.
Right.
She gonna go to bed mad. Like for me, like she said, I always like to talk things out. You know what I'm saying beforehand. But like you said earlier, I had to learn that she has a space. She has a window to where I have to let that go by, and then we can come back to it full circle, you know.
I got a window, a hallway, a backyard.
A whole room.
'Cause, you know, the next day I'll shoot her a text, you know, like, hey, I love you. And I know that she done carried some debris over into the next day.
Oh, hurricane.
Because normally I'll text right back, but if I'm still mad, I wait about an hour or so before I text it back. But, you know, he's still working on me. Just keep me in your prayers.
Amen. Me too, baby.
Keep us living.
For us, when we first started our relationship, we saw this a wall sticker. It said, always kiss each other goodnight. From there, we made the decision not to go to bed mad at each other. If we had a disagreement over anything, we talked it out that night. Pretty much because anything can happen in that next day. You can be arguing, you can have that disagreement, but if something happens during that next day, let's say somebody passes away, you're still mad at that person. You didn't get a chance to say, hey, I love you.
And that's what I told him. I said, what if, we don't wake up the next day? And case in point, this past Wednesday, my cousin, her husband, 36 years of age, he didn't wake up Wednesday morning. Went to bed, he didn't wake up. They think it's a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
And so, it just goes to show what I was talking about. You
happen.
just don't know. And then what that's going to do to your psyche of knowing I was being petty the night before over something, whatever it was. Because like I said, life is fleeting. You just do not know. And so for me, that was a reminder of why And again, I'm not saying you got to be over everything. I'm not saying that. But again, you don't know if that person beside you is going to wake up the next day. Or if you're going to wake up the next day.
That's true.
But yeah, Nico, like you said, though, we going to get in that bed.
Oh, yeah.
But while we in that bed, we going to talk about what's going on, what's bothering us before we actually go to sleep.
That's a word. Yeah. That's a word.
So I got a question too. Just it's not on the paper, or whatever. But in the moment of being mad at each other, talking it out right then, or do you give your partner space to calm down before y'all talk, or do y'all try to talk it out right then, like in the heat of the moment?
No, it takes time.
Yeah, definitely time.
Before the night ends, we gonna talk about it.
Brian do this thing I can't stand. He be like, like he'll ignore me and just get real quiet and stuff. Ooh, he be just doing these little things. I'm like, look at the big head. Like it just be like little thing. And it's crazy because like when I tell y'all, my daddy used to do, like he used to hum. Oh, he used to piss my mama off. Like he be like, doo-doo-doo. He just be like humming and stuff. And it's like, what is wrong with you? But Chris, you said that. Like you've learned to give her space. And so again, I'm not saying like everything's gonna be good right then and all this other stuff and you're gonna come to like some resolve. But it's like when you know what that person needs and you know, hey, I need to let her breathe a little bit so I don't say nothing reckless, so that she don't say nothing, vice versa, whatever. Then it's like, again, but that's when you learn each other, when you communicate, and then even ask. Like I always tell people I don't operate in assumptions. Ask me what I need. You're like, baby, like, you good right now? You need a little more time? And I'm like,
go to your corner. And then
time out.
No, I'm saying we each go into our corner to, recollect what's going on, and then you come back to discuss it.
Right.
And if I need a little more time, I'll be like,
not right now. Let's go find something to eat, and then,
and then we're gonna be okay.
we go from there.
Yeah.
So before you talk it out, like, is everything okay? I mean, do you still be cool before you talk about the situation? Because I asked that because if me and my wife going through something and I be like, babe, I don't want to talk about it right now, she won't talk to me at all until we talk about that certain situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, she won't talk to me at all.
Right.
Like, she won't at all. So that's what I'm saying. Like, are you still cool? Do y'all still, like, talk?
But have you communicated that to her? Of like, that's what I need?
Ask her.
Oh, so he's communicated
Ask her.
Yeah, he's communicating that to me. Well, hey, let's just get therapy right now. So that is wrong of me to, but see, I know my husband. So I know that if I act as if everything is cool, it's gonna get swept under the rug. And I need him. I need him to know, like, no, my feelings, they gonna come first.
And that's
you know
wrong.
What I'm saying?
That's wrong on my part.
So that's the reason that it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. I don't want to sweep this under the rug. I want to work this out with you. So whenever you're ready to talk about it, let's just go to the corner. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to the corner, and then we can come back and we can talk about it. You know.
Yes, and anybody that know who Kianda is, she's gonna want to talk about everything.
I want to talk about
She
everything.
want to talk about.
She want to talk.
She want to break it down.
Talk about
she want
it.
to go back and forth. She want everything.
And she gonna get the last word.
She not with me. She may with you.
No,
but we got a relationship that I'm gonna get the last word.
Hey, look, I'm allow her to have the last word. That's what it is. I allow her to have it,
but not with me. You won't get it.
Because I ain't finna keep going back and forth.
And therapy's over. Therapy's over for Kianda.
Well, I guess this goes into our next question about fighting fair and settling arguments. Are you open to admitting that you're wrong?
Ooh.
We need to start with Crystal on that one.
Okay, so I'm just going to say this.
I'm ready to hear this.
Chris, it's almost bedtime. Chill out.
When we have our disagreements, I'm just that type of person. I'm going to say what I have to say. Like, I want you to be quiet and you're going to listen. Like, that's just how it is.
Damn.
Then I need my space. Then you can come back and I'll listen. But I don't think I'm ever wrong.
Chris, do you think she ever wrong?
Yeah. Of course. It's just she ain't gonna never admit. Matter of fact, I gotta ask, I'm gonna ask all the ladies a question. Do y'all ever admit that y'all
Hold on, wait. Before you even ask that question, so you mean to tell me I never admit that I'm wrong?
I'm gonna give you one or two times. Maybe that you admit it,
but when we talk about it, at the end of the day, what you be saying, babe, you was right, blah 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 blah. So I was right.
Look, Chris, like I'm trying.
So, is it easy for y'all to admit that y'all wrong? I'm gonna put it that way.
I would say for me, no. But
good answer.
No, because I'm the type of person, I like to think from the other point of view. And in my head, I'm reasoning. I'm thinking about my point of view. I'm thinking about his perspective. And I'm like, no, he was wrong. I was not. So, I mean, it is hard for me to admit when I'm wrong. I do say that. And sometimes, yeah, it is hard.
Very hard, because she like to gloss over when she's wrong and go on to the next thing. But for me, it's like I need to apologize, buy me a gift kind of thing.
That's funny.
You gonna go?
Yeah, I admit when I'm wrong, right?
Yeah, you do for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, but for the other part, I'm right. Because a lot of times I'm looking out for you, or it's other things. Because like I'm that type of person. Again, I try to think about all sides and be considerate and all this other stuff. And I be trying to for the good. And you be like, oh, you don't be wanting to listen a lot of times. And then you come back and be like, well, babe, you were right. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but when I am wrong, I do admit. I'm like, okay. Now it may take me give me a little breather, but still I'm gonna be like, okay, I was wrong. I apologize. I don't have a hard time apologizing.
Well, I just
true.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say off of that. The reason why I don't like to say I'm wrong too is because my husband thinks he's always right, and so for him to hear that, he gets his head even bigger. So that's why I don't like to say it 2 times. Sometimes.
I mean, but tell the truth. Am I usually right?
Sometimes.
No, not sometimes. I'm usually right, and everybody at this table know I'm usually right.
Oh, God, Jesus, Nico.
Yeah, speak about it.
I mean, it's the truth.
Keep Nico in y'all prayers.
Thank you.
I will say this for me. Yeah.
Tell it right.
It is. I'll say this. It's very rare.
Real what?
that I am in the wrong.
Oh,
Because
my
listen. Now, I'm not talking about this flower purple, but you saying it's pink. I'm talking about like real life things. Like real life things. Now, it's a difference. You know, you're going to know more about certain things if it's, you know, dealing with what you do or, you know. But I'm talking about real life things that are about us. And I try to be, our word of the night is intentional. I try to be intentional and I try to be tactful in how I come at him. Now, sometimes, yeah, I you know, this baby right here, he will send me somewhere else sometimes. And so I may have to apologize for my tone or a word that I have said. And I don't have a problem apologizing whenever I know that my tone is off. You know, I'll apologize. But it's very rare that I'm saying things to you that's not right. But go ahead. He going to say his little part.
Nico, you know her, right? Mm-hmm. Do she like to apologize?
No.
Thank you.
Because
Thank you.
it's very rare that I'm wrong. Again, that's what I'm saying.
But when you are wrong, you hate to apologize.
No. I'll be like, babe, come over here and give me a kiss.
That ain't apologizing.
Come give me a kiss.
Yeah, that's how they love to apologize.
That ain't apologizing.
Babe, come give me
I
a
think
kiss.
that's how it goes for all of them. Like, come do something and say, I'm not going to apologize, but hey, come over here.
Right,
Give
exactly.
me a hug, babe.
That's not an
I
apology.
seen a
Thank
little
you.
meme that said it was this little girl and they had a thing and she was like, it's not my fault that he can't hear my apology in my head.
Amen.
I need to hear it out loud.
Let us know we right sometimes.
Right, sometimes.
I
Yeah.
got you.
Blow my head up a little bit.
Okay,
Down a little
I
bit.
got you. We learning,
Oh,
babe.
man.
All right, so we talked about the admitting wrong, kind of, but the part I want to talk about is fighting fair. What does that mean to y'all? Brian, what do you think? What does that mean to you?
Fighting fair, you're giving each other the space to say what you have to say without, I'll just say this with the question that you guys asked earlier, listening to hear versus listening to respond. You're going to hear each other out and then you respond to the situation. That's playing fair to me. I mean,
And don't go below the belt.
Yep,
Yeah.
I was just about to
Especially
say
when
that.
you know, because I'm not going to lie. I can hurt somebody with my words.
Amen.
You know, I have to put the pause on you. Like,
Amen.
it can be
Put the pause
lethal.
on you
So that's why I
without the pause
said, you know,
on you.
I'm just saying, you know, so,
You gotta back up.
Hey,
yeah.
Because I
Good
take
for
this
that.
from Crystal
We know another one
Kaiser.
like-
I've learned from Crystal Kaiser because with her, she ain't gonna take it to the ground. She gonna take it to hell. So with people,
Damn.
I will.
She will.
We can take it to hell because we kind of one and the same. But you know,
You
when
ain't-
you go ahead, Crystal Kaiser.
Hey, listen, if you ain't built for the words, good gracious.
Now, Chris, I don't take it to hell with you.
feel like it, you know?
No, I don't take
you be
it
getting hot, Chris.
Yeah, the heat is there.
I don't take it to hell with Chris. It's just that I don't stop until I got my point across. Then once I get my point across, then I'm like, okay, now you have the floor type, you know.
But let me ask you this. Do you shut down or do you listen to what he has to say?
I listen to what he has to say.
I was joking. You do listen. You listen.
Yeah,
Calm
but
down.
you was about to get in that mic and tell a lie.
They say sticks and stones can break your bones, but words will never hurt you. That was a damn lie. I'm trying to tell you. This one right here, man. Good God Almighty. And it's like, I'm like, okay, babe, you got it. It seemed like that make her go over the top.
But I'm not saying like, you know, below the belt stuff, but I'll keep it going. And every time a new thought come to my head, and you did take the garbage out when I told you to the other day, and now that I gotta wash the trash can out, and you better do it too. And I see you walk past that trash can, baby, it's on and popping again. So I get what you said.
Can't stop. You can't
I
stop.
Get you. I get you.
Can't stop, won't stop.
We need to come up with a word. Pineapple. Just let it go.
That's crazy.
So I don't know about you ladies, but sometimes, you know, you just expressing yourself to your husband, and he says, "Are you on your period?" Or, "Oh, you must be hungry." So, does your husband use that line for you in your household?
My husband used to do that a lot. Like, when is it? Because you must be about to come on your period. He used to do that, but not as much. Because I think that he know now when he wrong, and he know how to smooth me over a little bit better. But no, he don't say it as much now. But in the beginning, he used to kill that. It was like his favorite line.
Definitely was.
It's still my favorite because I said it last week.
You turn into a whole different person when you come on your cycle, boy. Good God.
Or hungry.
Or that. Yes.
Anyone else? DeShondra, Crystal?
He know not to. So. No, like I tell you, Brian get quiet on me. And like, just with whatever, if I'm acting a certain way or something, he just ignore me. And that pissed me off even more. But still, he just be like, and just give me a little look. I'm like, oh, all right, whatever. Like, I'm not going to get what I want because I want to go back and forth. But yeah, so, like I said, he know not to say nothing reckless.
Vice versa.
Yeah, everybody think he's so quiet and just timid and stuff. He sweat on his nose. And he like hot stuff.
I'm quiet, but don't push me. Don't push me.
Sometimes I want to push a little bit just for
Hey, come on, baby.
Well, we're going to wrap it up. Anything else that anyone wants to say about dating or communication or questions for the Smiths?
I would say, just to, wrap all of this up is to say that, with marriage, you're growing. You're going to grow through the pains. You're going to grow through the good times. You're going to grow through the bad times. But remember, it's not a race. And so with that being said, think of it like a triathlon. You're going to have different things you got to go through, different obstacles. Some are going to be more challenging than others. Some are going to be easier than others. But as long as you work it together, that's what matters. Remember the vows that you profess, before God and, all that were there to witness your union. And just remember, no day is going to be the same, but that this is the person that you vowed to love through it all, so that's what I would just tell you. Just remember that, again, it's not going to be easy every day. It's not always going to be hard either, but just, keep committing to each other, don't let it stop at the wedding.
Right.
Yeah, like she was saying, you guys are a team in this thing, so you're working together. Always communicate with each other, be open, just be honest with each other, and just have fun with each other, because that's the most important thing. Have fun, grow, love, elevate yourselves, and just be the best that you can be in that marriage.
Mm-hmm. And then you look back after all these years and you look at, where you started and where you're at then, and to see that you've grown with that person is no better feeling than that person you profess to love, and made those vows to, and to see that, hey, I didn't do this by myself. We built this together.
We 11 years in this thing, and boy, have we grown.
Exactly. Yep.
So
That's good.
That's what's up.
Well, before we end this, we just want to say thank you to the Smiths for coming today and really sharing their knowledge with us and being our first guest. And it was just awesome to hear you guys' thoughts and learning something new from you guys. So thank you so much.
Yes,
Bunch.
yes. We appreciate it. Yeah, we really do appreciate y'all.
Congratulations.
Thank y'all for having us.
thank y'all for having us.
Thank you.
11 years, man. Congratulations.
Yes.
Keep
Thank
pushing.
Hey, that's the goal.
Yeah.
So whether you're married, you're single, you have friendships, you can go on dates with friends and get to know them even more. You can learn to communicate more effectively with friendships as well. So don't forget those things in any relationship that you're in. And we just want to leave you with a thought. Comment below. What is your favorite activity to do with your spouse, your family, your friend? If you got a sneaky link, what is your favorite thing to do with them? Comment below. And please remember, the wedding is only the beginning.